Welcome to the Happening Women series. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mamaidi Leteleha, and I'm your host for the show. On my far right, I have with me Dr. Gift Mwemba. Hi, Doctor.
Welcome, viewers, and thank you to be part, because you're part of this journey.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to introduce somebody else, a phenomenal woman. Her name is Dr. Pindile Ngumalo. Hi.
Thank you, Mama Idi. Thank you for the introduction. Welcome.
All right. I'm going to start with you, Doctor. Just briefly, tell me about your journey in this book. I know you've documented other treasures before, so this isn't the first book.
Yeah, this is not the first book. The first book is actually entitled Start Happening. And then I wrote Mechanics of Manhood. And then as I went around, people were saying, okay, there's Mechanics of Manhood. Where is the woman?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the Happening Woman was born out of a need to address issues and matters that affect women.
Thanks, Marty.
Yeah.
That's very enlightening. You're a pastor. You are an author.
Yes.
You are a life coach.
Yes.
This resource is what we need.
That's right.
Dr. Pindile Ngumalo,
Yes,
can you just briefly tell us about yourself?
Okay, thank you. My name is Pindile Ngumalo, and I'm guessing you want me to introduce myself so that you can understand the context and the reason why I'm here. I'm a medical doctor by profession, and I'm a public health specialist. And the reason why I'm here, and I was discussing this earlier with the author of the book, is because I have a journey that has been observed specifically by the author and people that know me, family, friends, colleagues, and that can relate to contents of the book. What I wanted to also narrate and speak to is the fact that when I first got the copy of the book, I was able to read the book in segments because I could compartmentalize it in my life. So I guess I'm introducing myself as a woman, first of all, a mother, a daughter, a friend, and somebody who really believes in paying it forward and encouraging other people. So one of the reasons why I'm here is because I'm in support of having the book, but also sharing the book with other women who will benefit. Thank you.
I can imagine that, Dr. Mwemba, you are happy to hear that.
Very happy to hear that.
Maboti, as Dr. Mwemba, as a man, you wrote a book about women. How does that happen?
No, I wrote the book, but not about women. The book is for women.
And there's a difference.
There is a difference.
Okay.
I'm not a gynecologist. I can't write about women, but I can write something for women. It's an empowerment book for personal development as well as professional development.
Yes.
And of course, social development. So the book actually it's a resource book. It's for women. And by the way, I qualify to write for women. I'm born of a woman.
Oh, yes.
And there's no better qualification than that one.
Yes.
You know, and by the grace of God, I'm married to a woman. And I believe that the life of a man belongs to a woman.
Wow.
Yes, the life of a man belongs to a woman because you are born by a woman, raised by a woman. In fact, your first place of abode is a woman for 9 months. You dwell in there. And then she brings you out. She raises you up. When you grow up and you feel you're mature, you move to another woman you call your wife.
That's true.
And later on, well, you know they live longer. She sees you out of this world.
Yeah.
So when women happen, things happen. In fact, I say nothing happens until a woman happens.
Wow. Dr. Mwemba, I read this book. My little sister read this book. My mother read the book. And my older sister as well, I should mention that she read the book. Your target audience, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, my target audience is late teens to adulthood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it has been proven actually that why I say adulthood, I'm not putting an age limit because it has been proven psychologically that your brain will function optimally up to 90 years. So from early teens, maybe up to past 90 years, you're still happening.
Great.
Yes.
Dr. Pindile, you mentioned earlier that you have recommended the book before.
Yes, I have.
Do you feel like the book cuts across professional barriers and different age groups and different stages of women's lives?
Thank you for that question. I do. Yes, I do. I find that the book is an easy read. That's the first and foremost one. So I see Dr. Mwemba mentions that he has a target age
Yes.
group. And I can truly identify with the fact that then we can then have all these target age groups, as he has targeted them, relating to components of the book and to the entire book as it is. So yes, I feel that this book can be shared, can be used for the target age groups as targeted, and is a great resource. You mentioned something earlier when we were having the earlier discussion, that it's a resource. It's a resource. It's not something that you read. We discussed issues about reading it as a novel, that it must follow each other.
Yeah.
It definitely is not. It's something that you can take in compartments and use as you go. When there's days where you feel you can relate to the other side of the woman. You mentioned the professional woman just now. If you want to relate to the professional woman, you want to relate to the mother, you want to relate to the woman who has strong relationships with her external family. And as women of God, we also find the strength to then find ourselves as well and strengthen our relationships also with God as well. So yes, I would say I would recommend the book and use it as a book to read, an easy read, but also a reference from
Yes.
point to point at a point where there's a need.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Mohoti, Dr. Mwemba,
Yes.
moving on to you, sir. In the book, you speak about the book being the GPS
Yes.
and the CPS.
Yes. Well, GPS simply means Global Positioning System, to guide you.
Yes.
You know, it works from above. And so the book functions like that. Global positioning. Where are you in this world?
Oh, yeah.
Where are you headed to? Okay? And the CPS is simply creation positioning system. Meaning, in this scenario of creation as a woman, where do you stand? Where do you strategically stand? Maybe let me push it this way. One of the things I talk about, you know, is the issue of essential equality. Essential equality. And when you go to creation, you look at God creating Adam, and then he takes a rib of Adam, according to the Bible narrative,
Yes.
and creates a woman. And when Adam wakes up, he says, oh, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. We use that language as a romantic language, but Adam is actually being scientific. He is saying we are essentially the same. The material I am made of is the material that you are made. So it is a CPS. It positions you as a woman that you are equal.
From creation.
From the beginning, you are an equal person. So you look at yourself with what we call, you know, unconditional positive self-regard. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't say, hey, but yeah, there are these things of gender, whatever. No. You are essentially equal. You stand on level ground to take off into a destination you have determined for yourself.
Great. Dr. Pindile, are we genetically engineered and wired as women to do great, to reach heights?
My answer is a resounding absolutely. Nothing in our genetics limits us.
Yes.
We are created in the image of God. We are created, he makes an example of being created like the man. So nothing in our genetics limits us. I think we get to a point where we use certain kinds of excuses, but it's really what we then condition ourselves to believe about ourselves. But genetically, in terms of our potential, in terms of becoming the best versions of ourselves,
Yeah.
when God
Yeah.
created us, He gave us the potential to do that. He didn't limit us because of our gender. And so my answer is yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me add something there to what Dr. Ngumalo is saying. You know, from the platform of essential equality, we then, from there, we can launch into issues of equal opportunity.
Yes.
Okay? Essential equality simply, since we are equal, we deserve the same opportunities.
Yes.
Giving an example of a restaurant. You go to a restaurant, they give you a menu. Even if you're a man and a woman, they give you, that menu is exactly the same. They don't
list
have a
is the
menu for
same.
men and a menu for women. They give you the equal opportunity. But within that equal opportunity, there is a difference. And that difference is by choice.
Yes.
From the same menu, she may eat rice, I may go for potatoes. But the opportunity is the same.
The same.
It's-
The
it's-
list is the same.
Yeah, the list is the same to say, yes, choose where you'll exercise your potential. So I'm saying, as a woman, the list is the same. And to those that offer the opportunities or create the opportunities, give everybody the same list. Let people choose, because nature has proven that we are all capable, male and female.
Yeah, that is awesome. Just earlier you mentioned, when you're talking about creation, you mentioned that Eve was taken from Adam. But you also mentioned in the book that the DNA is not the same.
Yes. The DNA is not the same because it would be like, okay, it would be like Adam marrying a sister.
Oh.
Yeah. And the other reason why the DNA is not the same is because when say you're a man, you get married to a woman, okay, your children will carry your DNA and her DNA, but she does not carry your DNA. And what does that mean? It simply means she's an individual. She's an individual. She stands in her own. In other words, Eve stood in her own right
Yes.
as a person. Adam could not claim to say, but yeah, you know, I gave rise to you. No. So the DNA is not the same. Giving individuality. You know, she's a doctor. Even if I get blood transfusion from her, they will never find her DNA in me. That's how nature works.
Sure.
They will not find it. So that creates individuality, that results into self-determination. And that's why we call that book, the first episode, The Genesis. The Genesis has given you equality.
That is deep. Just briefly, Mngoti, can you please explain to us, when you speak about believe, begin, become, what does it mean for the happening woman?
Well, believe, begin, become for the happening woman simply means the first step in the journey of womanhood is to believe who you are. Accept who you are, because the greatest audience in your life is yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then why should the world believe you?
Sure.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much. There you have it, The Happening Woman. Find us on all social media platforms with the hashtag The Happening Woman. Until next time.